sometimes restless, sometimes wide. Sometimes you just take my breath away. And it's too good to slip by, and it's too good to lose. Too good to be there, just to use. I'm gonna stand on the mountaintop and sing the news that you take my breath away. You take my breath away. Yeah, and it's too good to slip by, and it's too good to lose. Too good to be there, just to use. I'm gonna stand on the mountaintop and tell that you take my breath away. Sometimes it amazes me. Sometimes it amazes me. Sometimes it amazes me. You are the one who makes me happy when everything else turns to gray. Yours is the voice that wakes me mornings and sends me out into the day. Yours is the voice that sits quiet, listening to me and all the mad sense that I make. You are one of a few things worth remembering, and since it's all true, how could anyone mean more to me than you? Sorry if sometimes I look past you. There's no one beyond your eyes. Inside my head, the wheels they're turning. Hey, sometimes I'm not so wise. You are my heart, you're my soul, my inspiration, just like the old record goes. You are one of a few things worth remembering, and since it's all true, how could anyone mean more to me than you? Mean more to me than you. Needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were. I needed someone to understand my ups and downs, and there you were. With sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion, I wanna stop and thank you, baby. I wanna stop and thank you, baby. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, son, can you play me a melody? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up his smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. I hope so. Now, Paul, he's a real estate novelist. He never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessmen slowly get stoned. Oh, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for Sunday. And the manager, she gives me a kind of a smile, an angelic smile.
An angelic smile. Slightly
A look,
breathless smile.
a smile that says, my pension's coming soon.
Yes, one hopes so. I have to say that I feel slightly breathless. I've been doing lots of camera changes here, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
All right, you're breathless.
Looking good.
Was I looking good?
Looking good.
Do you like the? Hope you don't like the new camera angle
They
there.
do like the new.
You show them the new camera angle.
I
Go on.
have shown them.
Get ready.
Oh,
Individually, here we go.
okay.
You ready?
Hang on a minute. Don't cause problems for me. Okay. There he is. Move! Stop it! It hasn't frozen.
No, it's just I just wanted to see whether you're good. You start sending a text in a minute, won't you? And I included, just for Gareth Hill, actually the third verse there.
You noticed
Paul
it was
is a
missing
real
last
estate
week. Novelist.
Novelist, you see, who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And reflects that wonderful memory I had way back. But Tertia, we went last week, didn't we, Sue? Saturday. Remember we went and we got, you remember deer? I've remembered, by the way, in London, you see, what happens, if you live in the country, what happens is you get hit by deer, all right? But what happens is if you live in London, you get hit by deers. I just...
You didn't work on that for very long, did you?
I didn't, not long enough.
I've got some kind of knowledge that you didn't work on it for very long.
No. Now, have you had a good week? Have you had a good week? I hope you had a good week, a reasonable week.
Yeah,
the sun's been shining. It's been very terribly hot in here. I've got a jacket on, I've got the thing, and I've got a fan on my right. How are you?
And that's me.
No, that's the fan there. That was my joke. Don't ruin the gag. What are you doing?
Mine was better.
No, it wasn't, because the fan is sitting down here. They hadn't got a clue. You know this audience. They don't understand gags. You don't understand gags. It's only John Bound and possibly, John Dick never understood it back in the day. He never understood gags, did he? He told them, but he never understood them. And if you're listening, John, you didn't understand them. You just laughed. It's a bit like the old gag. Remember the one that I used to tell people that I knew didn't understand jokes? So anyway... I went to the chemist the other day and I said, I'd like a bar of blue soap, please. And he said, I'm sorry, I've only got yellow soap. And I said, that's okay, because I've got my bike outside. And if people laugh at that, you know they don't understand humour, okay? They really don't. It's a non-joke, but I loved it. I always tested people out in that way.
You're just...
Horrible. But this fan is brilliant. How are you feeling over there?
Without a fan. Without a fan.
Without a fan in the world. Can I say that the people tune in for you, Sue? You know, can the manager gives me a smile? There it is. It's what sells the records.
Yep.
And the books. Because she knows that it's me. Well, they've been coming to see. To forget about life. Because Sue is operating tonight until Rachel comes in to take over at about 9 o'clock. For a while, so be patient with her. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. And say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, ties down. We welcome you again to another evening with JV and Sue on Steinway Room. And this one is particularly for Owen Lamb. He asked for this one. And if you think of I've got songs down, but if you can think of a song that you really want and that I can sing it, then write in quickly. We'll see whether it fits in with what we're doing. And otherwise, this is an evening with just JV and Sue and you lot. I hope you're liking the hat, and it's the one...
They are, darling. They are loving the hat.
More appropriate than Autumn Leaves. An Insta arrangement. And the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Singing. Oh, you're gonna take your wings and reach for the sky until that morning. There ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and mommy standing by. Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Summertime and the living is easy. Summertime, don't you cry. Oh, don't you cry.
Wow. What can I say? That was awesome. Really awesome.
That's the first time.
That's
the first time you've heard that
I've
one?
never heard you play. I've heard you play Summertime probably about 6 or 7 different ways. Never like that.
Did you enjoy it?
I really liked that. Really liked it. Sylvia Newman liked it too.
Ah, Sylvia!
He doesn't care what I say.
Ah, but Sylvia Newman, come on. She is the arbiter of good.
She
are
is.
the arbiter.
She is.
I haven't seen. Has she been on recently?
Occasionally, I think.
I've not written to Sylvia for
commented.
ages.
No.
Sylvia, I will write to you after the show just to check how you're doing. I haven't been in touch. I'm just useless. What kind of man am I? Anyway, Sylvia Newman, how you doing? I always used to do autumn leaves for you. So summer, autumn, winter, spring. I'm not doing something.
No, please.
I'm not. It's okay. No more.
Thank you. Okay.
But that was for you. And for Owen.
Now, John Hillman said, loving the new camera angles of the strings. The dampers all look like slices of blackcurrant cheesecake moving to the music. Smashing and yummy.
Who said that?
John Hillman.
Oh, John Hillman.
Yeah,
Excellent.
which is really nice.
Why do you see, John? The question I've got to ask is, why do you see everything in food terms?
I'm with him.
You need help. We can help you here.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Okay, everything's in
Also, welcome to lots of people from different places, including Steve Woods from
great.
Branston in Missouri.
Yeah. But what's his name?
Steve Woods.
Steve Woods. How are you doing, mate? I've got the hat. This is the Nashville hat. Okay, just want you to know that. Okay. When we're out doing our album in Nashville, you can check that out. All of that on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. The album there called It Is Well. It's lovely to have Missouri. Now I've never been to Missouri. Write in, Steve, and tell us if you're enjoying the show. And please do join us every week. It'd be lovely to have you with us and joining all around the country. Now, if you kind of looked at around the country, around the world, at one point we had 27, 30 countries in the world.
But we know
during
that
lockdown.
we've still got friends in Australia watching, haven't we?
Who have you got?
We've got, well, not on yet, I don't think, so they haven't got up yet. But I know that Lucas and Chrissy watch.
Lissy, yeah.
And also lovely Lorraine Todd.
Yes.
Who is the mother of someone that we met over here.
Oh, yes,
and
when
she's
she was
been
over
watching over there. She's really been enjoying
We've
the
had
show,
a lot of South Africans, New Zealanders. We've had people from Germany,
so
from Holland.
if you're watching from outside of the UK,
please write in.
Say hi. And thank you for you guys who were over in the Spring Harvest holiday who were watching.
Who's over there?
Tuned in. So Helen and Grace and Peter and Christine.
Hello and welcome. Hope you're having a great time and it's not too hot over there. I think it's quite warm, isn't it? It's because it's been 29, 30 degrees here. And anyway, just to say, I hope you've had a good week.
Yes,
I'm going to sing a couple of Billy Joel songs. This is Sue, talk about this one. So it goes.
So this one is called And So It Goes, and it's a beautiful melody, and it's the kind of song that you just think, oh, that's really lovely. And Jonathan says, oh, but it's a very sad song. But I just, I actually don't think it's very sad, because I think he does, what's the line about the thorns? He
said, in every heart there is a room. Oh, yes.
About the rose.
Every time I have held a rose, it seems I only felt the thorns.
Yeah, so he talks, I think he's there talking about his love relationships that haven't worked, and how he says that always happens. And actually, I think that what he then says is, there is a room in my heart and you are welcome to come in. Normally I wouldn't let people into my heart because I'm frightened they're going to hurt me, but you, I'd like you to come in. So I'm the optimist and Jonathan's the pessimist, because I think it's a lovely love song.
And 2 songs by Billy.
Yeah.
This one is for Gareth. In every heart there is a room, a sanctuary safe and strong, to heal the wounds from lovers past, until a new one comes along. I spoke to you in cautious tones, you answered me with no pretense, and still I feel I said too much. My silence is my self-defense, and every time I held a rose, it seems I only felt the thorns. And so it goes, and so it goes, and so will you soon, I suppose. But if my silence made you leave, then that would be my worst mistake. So I will share this room with you, and you can have this heart to break. And this is why my eyes are closed. It's just as well for all I've seen. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows. So I would choose to be with you. That's if the choice were mine to take. But you can make decisions too, and you can have this heart to break. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows. I always love the tune.
It's beautiful. Gareth says thank you very much. He says apparently in whenever it was, 2017, Billy Joel said that it was in his top 5 songs.
Yeah, well.
And welcome the Hills, watching for the first time, I believe, from your retirement home. I know you've not moved there yet, but I think they're just testing it out.
You're testing out. See whether the time moving works.
That's the important thing.
Yeah. It's kind of. Do you know? And talking about signals, so your phone. You see, I haven't got the phone with. I've lost it. Ironic.
You've lost your phone. Oh dear.
Right?
What a shame.
But it was. I just want to. Before I say, I'm going to sing another Billy Joel song, and it's an optimistic song. I'm going to take this.
We're going to do a bit of chat, are we?
Yeah, just a little bit of chat.
Okay.
You can probably take my reverb off a bit, so I can have a chat.
Okay.
I'll put my hat back on because I think I look better with a bald head. I mean, without a bald head. I don't know. I'm just going with it.
I've muted us both. We should both be.
You mean effects mute? Yeah, it's this thing about phones. It's been very much in the news since a report came out the other day. Now, the thing is that with every technological advance and jump, and I know that generally, our demographic is generally older, okay? It just is. It's just the way it is, and older than kids. Now, what's interesting is how all the telephone companies, the phone companies, have aimed phones at who, mainly?
Well, the younger
the young.
kids.
because of the way that it works on the brain. Now, this is not not me making it up. It releases dopamine in the brain, which means it's a kind of it's like an addiction. So what it forms, and those of you who own phones know that now the thing that we cannot be without is a phone. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how you're feeling about this.
I can remember forgetting my phone once when I was working in London, and I felt as if I'd lost a limb all day long.
Yeah.
I was fretting, I was worrying.
And why is that, Sue? What's the fact of it?
I think for me, I was thinking, I can't contact anyone. I can't let people know where I am, and I don't know what's going on. And I could do my work, but I was worried about what was going to happen at the end of the day.
Yes, you couldn't contact somebody in the tyranny of it. But also because what they asked us to do was put our whole lives on what's called a phone. And the thing that we use it least for is to phone anybody. Yeah. And we phone, I can't put, somebody will give us the percentage of what we actually use it to phone people. So smartphones, and what they're talking about is the way it's damaging children. And this is what's particular to me.
I think that's the thing, isn't it?
That the children are allowed to take it into school.
Allowed to take it into school is what you're saying.
Yeah. So they're allowed to take it into school. And I think, what's going on? But I think actually it behoves us also to make sure that because it's affecting the smartphones and not making the children any smarter. No. In fact, on the contrary, what's happening is they cannot. Everything's aimed at 30 seconds. Do you know that when you on Facebook they have what's called analytics? So when we see how many people have tuned into this from around the world, we see actually how many people they measure it in seconds, in 3-second increments. 3 seconds. We got 3 seconds to make an impact. That means that the concentration of people is they go, we wander off, and you start to do something else. So you're always doing something else while you're doing this, but you're having the phone.
I'm terribly guilty of this. I know that I'm sitting there playing Sudoku. I'm perhaps cruising through Facebook, and I'm watching television at the same time.
Yeah, but worse for you, now you're getting all your people are speaking to you through the night. So there's no differentiation between work and leisure. No. And I just actually, one of the things I'd like us to look at as a group, and it can affect you, and I think it's a very, very positive thing to do. I turn my phone off now. I just have to turn it off volume, just off. So I'm not alerted. I was in church, sitting in church this morning, okay? Another subject. But we were sitting in church, and my phone was in my pocket. And it buzzed. And I felt it buzz, and I thought, I better, what do you mean I better answer it?
What is so urgent?
What is so urgent? In days before phones, things were not. The tyranny of the non-urgent is now what we live with. And so actually, it's...
Can I just say something? That there are lots of things about the phone that is, of course... Brilliant. And as Victoria Moyes says... you can watch things on it, but also she uses it for her medication. We use it for all kinds of alerts for your medication, and if we didn't have that, we'd have to have something else that told us. But you would find a way. So it's a fantastic tool, and so that's the point. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool. I love having my emails available, etc., etc., etc. However, I am aware that there are other things on it that I can be distracted by.
Completely.
And I'm a very visual person. So a picture, and constant. I'm going, what's that picture? Oh, it's a dog sitting there looking at a ball.
It is, and I notice it with our kids. They come in, and Nick's got one on his watch, and he's like this. So we're sitting there, and he suddenly goes,
because his phone is watching
constantly. He's constantly being on social media alerts. And so they're constantly on social media. They don't come off TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is. And so there are so many, and young people are being sucked in for the sake of convenience. And I think actually they don't know what's happening to them. I saw a very frightening site where one reported Aldi. Was it Aldi or was it Lidl?
I don't know, you told
me. It was
me.
Aldi, and I saw this terrifying video. You're not allowed into this particular this particular
store
supermarket without a QR code and a phone. Not a card, a phone. Because you have to give all your information as you go in. So you have to take your phone with you. And there are cameras everywhere helping you to shop. I'm just saying, people, we do not have to be sucked. We can use this technology, which is quite useful to us to get around the world. And it's everything. But it cannot master us. Do not let it take you over. Make the decision, I think, actually, as I'm looking at all the reports that came out this week, where they're terrified. And Sue said something, I think, which was absolutely right about morality catching up after technology has
it's
run
the same
rampage.
thing. Technology comes in and we all sort of go with it and it's fantastic and we learn about it. And then later on, there is a sense of, oh, how should we be managing this? How should we be policing it? What should we be allowing to happen and so on? And we are playing catch up all the time. But as I say, there are lots of reasons why a phone is fantastic, not least of all because you are writing to me on the phone.
Yeah, and there's the point. So we can use it for specific things, and we can actually discipline ourselves not to have it, not to do it before you go to bed.
No.
Don't do those kind of things. Just try reading a book. Do you know the average time now for a child to read is a minute? English teachers and history teachers were saying online on a report today that they cannot get their children in schools to read a book. So Shakespeare, it comes out like this. They start to be or not to. Well, they've lost interest, but they've lost interest before be. Shall I compare it to a summer's day? No, they're gone. And so, actually, for us, let's try and release ourselves from the tyranny of always being in contact and always doing it. It's a kind of a discipline that you just put the phone. I've lost my phone. I feel quite happy that I've lost my phone, actually. So I can't get a message now. I'll get it when I find it. It's okay. Just relax a bit. This one is a much more positive song.
Right.
Right? I think, actually...
I'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, okay. You put my reverb back on. Thank you. In the beginning, there was the cold and the night, prophets and angels gave us the fire and the light. Man was triumphant, armed with the faith and the will. But even the darkest ages couldn't kill. Too many kingdoms, too many flags on the field, so many battles, so many wounds to be healed. Time is relentless, only true love perseveres. It's been a long time and now I'm with you after 2,000 years. This is our moment, here at the crossroads of time. We hope our children, they carry our dreams down the line. They are the vintage. What kind of life will they live? Is this a curse or a blessing that we give? This is our moment, and there will be miracles after the last war is won. Science and poetry rule in the new world to come. Prophets and angels give us the power to see. What an amazing future there will be. And in the evening, after the fire and the light, one thing is certain: nothing can hold back the night. Time is relentless, and as the past disappears, We are 2,000 years. Quite unknown song of Billy Joel, but I think something nice and upbeat, and I think actually, why don't we do, yeah, I know, do a little bit of bridging. Sing along to this one if you know it, from my album, You Raised Me Up, about 11 years ago, 13 years ago, my goodness. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me Come on, join with me now. Sail on, Silver Girl. In other words, sail on, Silver Girl. Sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled waters. I will ease your mind like a bridge Song we recorded together. Decided on this just before we came on. When you're down and trouble and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, join me, Sue, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. When the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and I know wherever I am, I'll come running, running, running to see you again. Summer or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you and desert you and take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, 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 oh, to see you again. Oh, 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 winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend, oh darling, you got a friend, oh my sweet darling, you got a friend, oh honey, you got a friend, my sweet darling, you got a friend, oh, you got a friend. You know what? I can't sing that without thinking of that lot. Do you remember that lot? Do you remember that?
I do.
That whole recording.
That was really
Sing.
early on.
Sing now.
Because Jerry's just been saying that he's been sing.
Stop.
Go sing.
Stop singing. Those of you who don't know, if you haven't watched this before, it's really worth a watch. Go on YouTube, and in fact you can see it on my channel. And just a kind of an advert of my channel, JV channel. We've got about 908 subscribed. Just go on, click the bell, subscribe, and you've done it. So we'll talk about it a bit later on. It costs nothing. We want to get it up to 1,000. If you're listening in America, wherever you're listening and you haven't subscribed, go to the JV channel on YouTube and subscribe now. Do it now. Push the button. It costs you nothing. It's no invasion of privacy. You just get notified if there's a live thing going on or a new video coming out or whatever. There's so many things that Rachel, bless her heart, is doing.
It just means you won't miss out.
You won't miss out. And you're going to get it every time. And I just want to say, it may be my doctor is watching now. My ex-doctor, Ian. I saw him this afternoon. A great friend and a real hero of mine in so many ways. Saved me when I was really ill in Switzerland and through so many years of care. And now he's having some minor difficulties, let's say. And so we send big love out to him if he's listening, with Caroline, his lovely wife, who's just looked after him so well recently in these past few years. Now, I think actually, I just wanted to say, as those of you who don't know, Sue over there, she's kidney. She's been 2 years, June the 9th. 2 years. June the 9th, we put up a post.
Friday was the anniversary.
Said so many lovely things.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it's 2 years, actually.
So I got it. Did you put the flowers? The flowers behind.
The flowers
there we
behind me. So these beautiful flowers are a present.
I think you should have a T-shirt saying, I gave him a kidney, he got me a bunch of flowers.
Hang on a minute. Rachel's in.
Oh, Rachel's taken over.
Started moving.
Rachel's just come in. She's our techie and she was at work in the theatre.
I've been using both hands, my brain.
Now, Sue, how do you feel after 2 years? What's your feeling?
I am hugely grateful, actually, that we did it, that it was successful, and that we are 2 years on and we are doing life together. And it's I still can't quite believe it. I look back and I think it was an epic journey, but actually it was
horrible.
It was horrible, but actually we are on the other side. And
I think I feel kind of a mixed thing about it because I'm constantly, today I looked and I realised I got the next appointment, and then the other appointment was
yeah, it's like any of you who are having regular hospital appointments, regular checkups. You can relax until it's within sight, and then you start thinking, what if the numbers have dropped, and what if, and what if, and what if. And we think actually one thing about, so particularly people who have been friends and who are suffering from cancer at the moment. And under treatment, and we think of Steve Legg right now. Actually, I'm going to go in the 20th and do a little film with him, and then talk probably about this stuff. What could possibly
go wrong? So I'm going to go down to Littlehampton, have fish and chips with a set up my mobile, and see it's useful for that. There we are. That's the mobile phone. So I just want to say publicly that actually Sue enabled me to live. Actually, bottom line. And our flowers don't do it. I bought her a fountain last year. I've had to mend that already. Things.
Do you know what? I do not
decay,
need
but the kidney...
lots of thanks. I really don't, because seeing you in here performing the way that you've been performing, that is thanks enough. And that's not just me saying it. I just love it when I hear you singing and enjoying singing and bringing a huge amount of pleasure to the 45 people that are watching online.
It's so depressing. You are so depressing. I hope they're more than that. No more than that. Okay. I hope they're enjoying it. Are they enjoying it tonight?
They are loving it. They're loving the song choices. They're loving you singing. It's great. It is absolutely great.
Well, I think it's one of those things where we're very grateful. I just thought, actually, one of the things that I loved doing last week. Right. Next week we have, not next week, the week after, sorry, the 25th we have, if you remember, Richard came in, Richard Everett, and he came in and you loved him a lot. Very great, very funny man, and very thoughtful man. And he's coming back for part 2, Richard Everett part 2, and we've got the agreement of Sue Rinaldi for July the 16th, I think it is, and so that's fantastic again. So we've got those 2 dates in for certain. So this, I thought, we enjoyed doing the Jack and Ori bit last time, and I thought, well, why not we do it again? Because make it a kind of regular feature. And what spurred me on to do this was about the DIY stuff that I fixed 2 things this week, okay? Don't laugh. No laughing, please, at the back, particularly from the bounds, from anybody else who knows me that I don't take well to DIY, do I, Sue, particularly?
Well, you are a man who is multi-talented,
But not in that area.
so many ways. But actually, DIY has escaped you over the years.
It's escaped me completely.
And now, because you're a bit anxious about it, you're a self-fulfilling prophecy, I think.
Yeah, but I fixed the gnome's foot.
You fixed the gnome's
And
foot.
I fixed the fountain a bit.
Can I just say, I allowed him to buy glue and special waterproof tape. Now, you have to know my husband to know that anything like plasters or sellotape or anything that's got adhesive on it is a disaster.
It is. It
Somehow
wraps up.
he manages to mess it up. But you didn't.
No. While you were there talking to your friend on the phone, right, I mended it. And now there's only a dribble.
You did.
But I will fix it eventually. Anyway, here it is. The book is, and that if you want to get this book, there's book 1 and book 2. Book 1 is Finding My Voice, which is the first book, and this one is on a similar note. And I was going on about Hoovers. I love Hoovers. I've got a love of Hoovers. I was hoovering up this afternoon just to keep the place, just fighting the ensuing chaos that comes when you don't do stuff. So I was talking about Hoovers, and then I went on with a clean, tidy house and spotless floors. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in here because it's easier to hold the book. Can you put this on? You put this on non-reverb, darling, please, and we'll put it back. So here we go. Jackanory, 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 boom, boom. Come round, sit round your radio set, your TV, and just listen to the story with the lovely voice of JV and the reasonable voice of Sue V, playing the part of Tony. With a clean house and a tidy house and spotless floors, I look out to see where my garage used to be. The doors were woodland and blue, built in 1935 along with the house, made of asbestos in the walls. Nasty. It was so small that it would only have taken a Morris Minor or at most a motorbike with a sidecar, such as my parents owned in my early years. The garage walls were made of dangerous asbestos cement, and as you looked at the garage, you found yourself leaning to the right by about 22 degrees. Over the years, we looked at this slowly leaning structure, resembling pizza, I think, actually. Not pizza, but pizza. Regularly saying, as we were wont to do, we must do something about the garage. It's getting worse.
We did.
For
We
years.
used to lean more and more and more.
We used to
We
look at
didn't
it
know
like
what
that.
to do. That
It
was
was
the
like that in the end. And we just kept denying. We were in denial. We repeated this over and over again until finally one day we said it in the presence of my esteemed friend, moral guide, advisor, and accountant. I'm very clever. Tony Mitchell. Tony Mitchell, by the way, has been in. He talked about.
He was the runner.
He was the runner.
He was the guy who did the marathon,
And
even though he wasn't.
I'm going to
a
get
runner.
him in to talk about his trip up the third
Yes,
highest
he did
mountain in
this
the
amazing
world.
mountain.
That is really worth talking about. Tony looked up sharply, and I recognised that gleam in his eye. I could see the idea take shape. This was to destroy the old garage and build a new shed, based on the original framework of this old structure that existed. In its basic form, there would be 2 phases to his plan. Phase 1, to completely destroy, or Veira, as he called it, the garage. Phase 2, to build a shed on top of the framework using shiplap. I had no idea what shiplap was. I am completely, and I mean completely, ignorant about all terms to do with construction. I mean, what is a 3x2? Or do I mean a 2x4? A trip to the DIY store is like going to a foreign country where I speak not a word of the language beyond hello, goodbye, please, thank you, and where's the toilet? In equivalent DIY speak, that would be screwdriver, screws, hammer, saw, and nails. I know the words, but have no idea how to use them with any level of proficiency. Maybe there should be a DIY test before you can use any of these things. However, I went along with Tony and I said, yes, shiplap indeed, Tony, looking knowledgeable as I could. Tony Mitchell, Uncle Tone to us all in the family, is a man with a plan who can. With a background as a scientist, a chemist specifically at Oxford, for him and a rower, an international rower, world championship rower, nearly everything breaks down to formula and process and logic. It is there to be done, whether it is a mountain to climb or a silk dress to be cut and sewn together. I kid you not, he did exactly that. Or training to become a world champion veteran rower, he is a human whirlwind of positive energy. You want to stand very close in the hope that you will get swept up into its cyclonic intoxication. Back to the shed. Tone saw this as a challenge, and he estimated that it would take him 3 days to complete. 3 days. That's 3 days to get the hammer out of the box with me. For those of you who don't know, to knock down and dispose of asbestos cement is a tricky affair, and one which must be, by law, must be approached with great care. Masks must be worn, and disposal is by approval at a local site. We were not aware of this at all at the beginning, but Tony researched it all. I was all for smashing it down with my claw hammer. It had been sitting dormant since the wall escapade. That's another thing earlier in the book. And then shoving all the broken cement into the back of the Toyota and tipping it off to the dump.
Whoa!
Said Tony.
We must take care. Put the hammer back into the utility belt. Let's take this slowly.
My patience is strictly limited, I want to say. I wanted this job done yesterday and preferably by someone else. However, Tony saw this as a fun project that he would steer me through. A time for him to encourage me in my DIY skills. Day one. Tony arrived with all his tools, workbench and overalls. I've never seen the point of overalls, but maybe I should buy one and splash some paint and oil on them to make it look credible. Maybe someone should patent designer overalls with your own chosen colours and paint of oil splashes with strategic rips here and there. I think that's quite a good idea,
Quite
actually.
a nice idea.
We started taking the old garage to bits in preparation for its final home at the Guildford Tip. I'd wanted to do lots of smashing up of the panels, but Tony would not let me. He did relent at one point. He sat back in the deck chair with a cup of coffee and a smile on his face. He allowed me my claw hammer moment, smashing up the wooden doors. Oh, and the panes of glass on the windows too. I felt so useful. We were left with a skeleton, the wooden frame originally built in 1935, I thought. Let's start attaching the shiplap.
Nope.
No. That's what I said. No, Uncle Tone demanded that we strengthen the frame to make it sturdy enough for the wood. Otherwise, it would just lean as before, over 43 degrees to port. You see how that's doubled already, in my estimation. Strengthen it we did in a way that I still don't understand to this day. The delivery of shiplap arrived, and there was a huge amount of it, and I thought this was surely too much. How could we put it together? Tony explained that we would have to cut the pieces to fit in using his electric saw. That sounded more like fun in the world of DIY accessories. An electric saw, I said. I can do a bit of that for you. I could cut the pieces and you could attach them to the frame. We could get it done in no time. He gave me one of those looks.
I don't think so. I don't think Auntie Sue would think much of that. Right now, you are my worker's mate. You fetch and carry, make me cups of tea, and that's about it.
Day 2, we started the building. I did as I was told, and it all went really well. So much on that on the day 3, Tony thought...
He's watched me, learned what to do. Now I can trust him to have a little bit more responsibility. That was his mistake.
Yes. He let me bang on in some of the nails into the wood, using the other side of my claw hammer. I felt so good, so productive, that initial connecting with the nail, sending it home to its place of security and rest. And that glorious noise, no doubt it... Do you know, I'm quite a good writer, aren't I, really? It annoyed the whole neighbourhood, town, county. It was so loud. Later that day, to my excitement, he showed me how to use his electric saw to cut the shiplap to size. Excitement at last. This is it, I thought. The pupil becomes the master builder. Then came the moment that has gone down in Veira history. It's a basic rule, and I do remember this from my woodwork lessons that I was thrown out of eventually. Mr. Knut, the woodwork teacher, said to me, I do hope you're good at something else, Mr. Veira. That if you're in possession of a sharp tool, you never put your hand in front of it, but always behind it is a rule of survival that anyone with common sense will know, and if not, will certainly work out within a millisecond. This handheld circular saw was not unlike the ones that you frequently see in James Bond films, when the villain says, "Ah, Mr. Bond," in a generic European accent. So, we meet again. I fear this will be the last time. This is the point in the film where an arm, leg, head, toe, body is about to be sawn in half by the whizzing blade as the villain explains his whole dastardly plan to take over the world. This allows Bond to escape and foil the plan and explain the whole plan just as he's doing it. It was just like this. To my excitement, I was to be allowed to use this saw. I can do this, I thought. No problems. Show me that shiplap. I placed the plank of shiplap on the workbench. I measured it carefully and with a pencil marked where I needed to cut the wood. I held the saw steady. I held the saw steady,
can't even say the
and
word.
slowly and happily fed the wood through the electric saw as it spun round and round. Finally, I was doing DIY and I was enjoying myself. I was allowed the great honour of the electric saw. The saw scythed through the wood and the sawdust flew. Suddenly, from the corner of my eye, I saw a movement. Tony leapt in slow motion from his position, flew through the air, his arms outstretched. Time stopped. I saw his face contort with fear, his screams cutting through the air and his hands reaching towards me.
No!
Almost in slow motion, he pulled me back from the workbench. My left hand was just millimetres from being sawn clean through. A few seconds later, and there would have been no more piano playing. Well, it had been a right hand playing. No more strawberry picking, no more guitar playing, and no more clapping. That's quite good. I had committed the cardinal sin of the standard nincompoop. I had placed my left hand in front of the cutting implement rather than behind. I would have lost at least 2 to 3 fingers and would never have finished the new shed. From that day to this, I have not dared to pick up a saw of any description. Tony banished me from the site. No more fun, no more chatter, no more work. Maybe that was my dastardly plan all along. He completed their wonderful shed all alone, and after all the energy, blood, sweat and tears that went into building it, we knocked it down just 3 years later to erect a brick-built, purpose-built hobby room. Tony wept.
What have you done with the shiplap?
It was only then I realised how much of those 3 days had cost him, how much he had invested in the shed, and how many nights he woke up screaming from a nightmare of electric saws and falling fingers. I knew how very deep our friendship had become when he forgave me for destroying his masterpiece. By the way, what is shiplap?
Can I just say that this is not a word of a lie? It is absolutely true, every word of it. It's not even exaggerated. I know it sounds like it could be, but it's not.
Put a video on, Susan.
Okie dokie. Well, Rachel's going to put it on. That's it.
Yes.
What a
Thank you,
difference.
Rachel.
What a difference, please, Rachel.
What a difference.
All right.
An album I recorded in lockdown, called Lockdown Sessions 1. I think this is 2. What a difference a day makes. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. The sun and the flowers, where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm of you, dear. My lonely nights since you said you were mine. What a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow for me. Skies above can be stormy. Since that moment, our bliss that's relief. It's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes, and a difference
Rachel is helping us. And now JV's in a slightly different position. He's going to sing And Can It Be? This is especially for lovely Janet Boffey. Janet, you requested this. This is for you.
And can it be that I should gain an interest in the Saviour's blood? Died he for me who caused his pain, for me who him to death pursued? Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, should die for me? Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God, should die for me? He left his Father's throne above, so free, so infinite his grace, emptied himself of all but love, and bled for Adam's helpless race. 'Tis mercy all, immense and free, for oh my God, it found out me. 'Tis mercy all, immense and free, for oh my God, it found out me. Long my imprisoned spirit lay, fast bound in sin and nature's night. Mine eye diffused a quickening ray. I woke the dungeon flame with light. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. My chains fell off, my heart was free. I rose, went forth, and followed thee. No condemnation now I dread. Jesus and all in him is mine. Alive in him, my living head, and clothed in righteousness, and clothed in righteousness, and clothed in righteousness divine. Behold, I approach the eternal throne, and claim the crown through Christ my own. Behold, I approach the eternal throne, and claim the crown through Christ my own.
Fabulous, JV. And that was especially for Janet Boffey. I know that she
For you,
was
Janet.
very keen to have that. Okay, I'll give you a moment to recover yourself, and I will do the notices. Okay, so lovely people, the diary is looking like this. Next week we are up in Southport. Looking forward to meeting all you wonderful people who live up there. And on the following week we're in Newbury, so don't forget to get your tickets to the Newbury Methodist Church in Newbury on the 24th. In July, on the 8th, we're going to be at the Connells Church that's in Churchdown. By the way, the Connells went to see Entertaining Angels recently, and they loved it. Of course they did. So yes, if you're in the area of Churchdown, near Gloucester, Cheltenham, that kind of area, come along and see us on July the 8th. Then August, we are up in the Lake District for our 2-week extravaganza. So 1 week in the hotel, doing chats and concerts and things. Concert in the Victoria Hall on the Saturday, and the following week for more people to come along and have chats and concerts and so on. So we are up there for 2 whole weeks, which we're looking forward to. And then in September, we are going to be in Stoke-on-Trent at the end of September. They are busy trying to get their publicity out at the moment, so they're very excited about us coming up there. So yes, we are looking forward to Stoke-on-Trent in September. And then in October, we are at Stoneleigh at the end of October, and then in December we have 2 Christmas concerts, one in Pett, Hastings on the 2nd, and the other one on the 9th at Christchurch in St Paul's Paynton. So we have dates available if you would be interested in having a concert at your place. So please just contact me. And so the autumn is always quite busy, so it would be lovely to give people the opportunity to see Jonathan in their house, but also in their church. And I have to say, this is just glorious, being in this room listening to Jonathan. It's just an awesome experience. And Jonathan live in a concert is just the most amazing experience. And I think actually it's because my left kidney is particularly good. So what can I say? He's he's a wonderful entertainer. And someone said to me yesterday, but people need comedy. You'll get comedy with Jonathan and the music. So it's all great. So let's move on to our little chat about the Steinway room. So next week that we're on, which will be the 25th, we have lovely Richard Everett coming back and joining us for more chat and laughs and so on. Then on the 16th of July, who do we have with us on the 16th?
Sue Rinaldi.
Sue Rinaldi.
In the room.
So 2 Sues and 1 Jonathan in the room on the 16th of July.
And we'll definitely be doing that song that we do together, which is I am weak, but thou art strong.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Jesus,
And
keep me from all wrong.
then on the 30th, do we have a guest yet, or is it going to be
for which
us?
month?
The July.
Of July? No, we don't. As it happens, we don't.
Okay.
So I'm still searching. There are various people that have agreed that they can do it, but July proves quite difficult.
Yes, it does, because people are on holiday. And if so, then that's fine, because we will do a JV and Sue one,
Yeah, we will.
like we're doing tonight.
I would love to do. I would love to do.
Yeah.
I've got my eye on Bryn. Bryn wants to come back in.
Yeah, I think he'll be the autumn, won't he?
There are loads of other guests. We could have Pam. We could have in Pam Rhodes again, and there are loads of people that we've had before. But I'm always looking for a new one. There's one man that I'm going to target, and that's Matt Weeks. Such the loveliest man, singer-songwriter, fabulous musician, guitarist, and just a nice guy.
So moving on, let's go to the social media bit. As Jonathan mentioned earlier, we would love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Rachel, bless her, is putting out all kinds of videos. We're trying to make little videos to make it entertaining for you. We would love to get up to 1,000 subscribers, and all you need to do is just click on that red bar and the little blue thumb, and just subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but what it does mean is that you will get any notifications through of anything that we put up on our particular YouTube site. We are getting quite a lot of interest now. I think we're getting quite a lot of
how many thousands have we got on
we're getting quite a lot of awards and things for being top musician. We have no idea what that means. Rachel and I were talking about it. We don't have any idea what it means.
What have I got now?
But last month apparently 30,000 people watched you. So how they worked that out, I don't know, but that was an interesting stat. Yeah. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please make sure you do that.
Well, maybe that's why we've got Missouri. click, you know.
That's right.
Coming in.
If you want to contact me about anything, it's sue@jonathanveira.com. You can talk to me about if you want to put on a show, if you want to know a little bit more about that, just have a little chat. That's fine. We can start the process there. If you want to put in any requests for shows and so on, then that's where you do it. The jonathanveira.com is where you go for all the information about the shows, about how much the tickets are, how you can get the tickets, and also how you can buy the books or the CDs for your holidays or presents. So that's where you need to go, jonathanveira.com. And Rachel has been her usual busy self, and she has created these wonderful clips of guests and interviews over recent months, and they will be coming out on YouTube. So that's why you need to sign in and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our JV channel, because you will be able to watch the interviews without being interrupted by music.
And can I just say that these interviews were some of the most... could you just put me on camera for 2 seconds? This work that she's done... is that okay? Yeah. This work that she's done, Rachel has done, is basically extract the interviews from... There's so many fabulous interviews that so many of you watched over these 3 years. And she's basically going to put them out so that you can just, like an encyclopedia, you can go through them and you can see... and talk. You can see the interviews that I did well. People, and as I learnt over the years,
yes.
Some were on Zoom, some were in person, and so it's a great thing to watch instead of being on your phone. There's the thing, you see.
Exactly. So unless you're watching them on the phone.
Unless you're watching on the phone.
So Rachel is still working through them, bless her, because she works very hard on our behalf, and we are supremely grateful to her. But she's doing that at the moment. John Bowen has said his book's going to be published on the 21st.
Oh.
So if he's got the publicity by then, he'd be interested in being on the 30th.
Well,
so
there we are.
Nicely,
That's sorted
that
it
lovely.
absolutely nicely. And we'll do that. Unfortunately, John, you can't, unless you want to come down, you can be in the room if you want, and come and stay the night with Margaret. Are we around? Or am I around?
It's the day before we go on holiday.
Well, they can let themselves out, can't they? Just let yourself out, all right? You know where the key is.
Okay, moving on.
We'll talk about
Got
that.
a Friend Trust. Do not forget
yes.
about the Got a Friend Trust. Adrian works and the trustees work tirelessly on this. And if you know of a need, please contact us. If you would like to contribute, please contact us. It's a lovely little charity that helps people where it can and how it can. So please, it's just putting an arm around you. It's just listening to what your needs are and trying to respond in some small way so that you're not managing just on your own.
And contact Adrian Pinnett directly, or
Yes.
if you feel that you can't do it, and people connected to us the other day who are recipients of this, and actually no request is too small. Mm-hmm. You think, I can't afford 50 quid to do something. Well, and 50 quid is a make-or-break situation for people.
And
I think this is what people... And I'm just going to put a little kind of caveat into this. Poverty is a trap that you get in, and you get in often through no fault of your own. You know, we have been in difficult situations. We've had to rely on people.
We've had to rely on people where we just couldn't afford something.
Yeah.
And we know how difficult that is.
We do.
You know, we had a gas bill come in when the children were very, very small. And we were fortunate. We could contact your parents and they could help. But it was a terrifying situation to find
And some
yourself
people
in.
within poverty have nowhere to go. And so this exists not to pay your mortgage. We can't do that. And we can't finance your life. That's not what we're about. We're about putting an arm around. You've got a friend. That's how it started. And Sue Rinaldi, who was coming in on the 16th of July, she was the one who actually gave us that name. She said, "Well, I didn't call it You've Got a Friend Trust." And it's actually been a real help to so many people. And can I just also point out, if you know somebody, please, this is a group for Christians and people of faith and no faith. We've always said it right from the beginning. And if that person is not a Christian, I don't care who they are or where they come from, what background they are, what kind of person they are, what gender, whatever it is, if they need help, then we will try and help them, okay? And it's really important. I know that people who have no family background, who've got no friends that can help, there is nowhere else to go. I think this is what people who have money forget.
Yeah.
They go, well, why can't you just go? Do you remember years ago somebody said, well, why don't you just go and buy a new pair of sunglasses?
Yeah, I'd lost the arm off my sunglasses, and they said, "Oh, why don't you just go and buy another pair?"
And you didn't have the money.
And because I didn't
You
have
didn't have the
£10,
money that time.
so it was easier
It's
to.
a long time
if I
ago,
wanted
but
sunglasses.
yeah.
I just had one arm on my sunglasses.
And that's where a lot of people are. So we understand that. We do understand that, and we care. And it's a good. Well, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, just before we come a little, kind of not an epilogue, but that kind of thought. So please just go to Adrian or come to us first.
Adrian's put the email address up again for those
There
of you
it
who
is.
need to have it. It's gotafriend2020@gmail.com. Gotafriend2020@gmail.com.
And we use this opportunity to thank Adrian and all the trustees, Colin, Jonathan and Deborah, for their tireless work in helping people out of sometimes very difficult situations.
and we thank him, who's sitting in the Isle of Wight now, who's become, I would say, a very, very close friend
Very, very
of
close
ours.
friend.
Both of ours. Me, it's ridiculous. He was there sitting, drinking gin and just waiting for a phone call. I had to phone him, didn't I? 'Cause I could tell that moment when I know what you were doing. Adrian, he was good. Just let us have a little message, and then I phoned him. He picked up the phone within half a millisecond. His wife was out work.
They're good friends, and we're very grateful to know them.
Very, very grateful for them.
Okay.
So,
moving on.
What else? Anything else? Notices wise?
So. No, I
you
think
done?
that's it. I think I'm
and
done.
The shows, get your shows booked for autumn. That's what we really want, some dates in November.
We do. We want some
around
October,
the country.
November around the country would be good. Christmas one, we still got space for a Christmas one at the end of November.
We've got 2 Christmas ones, haven't we?
Yeah,
but we always like another one at the end of November.
One. At least one.
Which is kind of end of Advent.
Yeah.
And we love doing those because you know all that kind of.
Don't start.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Like Pavlov's dog mention Christmas and you say.
I know. I just can't get away. Now this one too.
Moments.
Yeah, I think I'll do it without the backing track. I'll do it.
Do it from the piano.
Yeah.
This is a lovely song. I know that we did it on, I think, from video last week, but actually we particularly want to do it tonight for Lou Day and her family. Funeral this week of her Aunt Pat, and it's going to be difficult, she knows, and she wanted a special message. But also we want to mention the family of Richard Donahue, family and friends. We're off to his funeral on Tuesday, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I'm not looking forward to it. It's a hard one.
No, Jonathan's going to be singing, so thoughts and prayers for him on Tuesday, as well as others who are going to be there and participating. But yes, this is for Richard and all he meant to us. He was a good friend. He was a good friend.
These are the moments that we love so well, precious moments caught within a spell. All too soon our lives, they fade away. And these are the moments that we wish would stay. If I had my life to live again, I would choose to be with you, my friend. Time moves slowly, yet it goes so fast, and who knows how long the days will last. So cherish deep within you the love you get today, and let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. Cherish deep within you the love you get today. Let the moment linger, for tomorrow steals that away. Tomorrow steals that away. These are the memories that we made so well. Lives like stories
there'll be long to tell. When we're old with not too much to say, we'll have the memories that we made today. And we'll have the memories that we made today. Just as I am, without one plea, but that your blood was shed for me, and that you bid me come to thee. Just as I am, and waiting lost to rid my soul of one dark loss, to you whose blood can cleanse each spot, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. Just as I am, though tossed about with many a conflict, many a doubt, fightings within and fears without. Just as I am, a wretched blind, sight riches healing of the mind. Yes, all I need in you to find, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. Just as I am, you will receive the welcome pardon, cleanse, relief, because you promise I believe. Just as I am, your love unknown has broken every barrier down. Now to be yours, yes, yours alone, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God, I come. And as we're drawing near to you, your constant love will guide us through. Your grace alone is all we need, O Lamb of God. O Lamb of God, I come.
Lovely. I love that tune. I love that version. It's just beautiful.
Yeah,
And that was for Sarah Porteous. Sarah, you're off into hospital tomorrow, so we'll be thinking of you and praying for you. You're going to have an operation which could change your life, so we'll just be thinking of you for tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah,
So it's for Sarah Porteous.
Met her up in near Sheffield, didn't
We did, which was lovely. This next one is for Liz Ormiston. Liz, it's your birthday this week, and you got a very sore knee. So, in fact, it's a possibility it might be dislocated, which sounds very painful. Horrible. So, but we're thinking of you and praying for you, and have a happy birthday if you possibly can. I hope the pain's not too bad for you.
Can I just...
that was for Promise of His Grace. Are you going to sing that?
Yeah, I am. I was just going to say a few words. Is that all right?
Okay. I'll remind Liz that you're going to do this song for her in a minute, okay?
Well, I want to talk about why we're going to do these little... It worked quite well last week. We did a little kind of block of stuff, and Rachel did it really well. You know, a bit of a kind of repose moment. And I think I have no idea whether Heather's gone to bed now. But if she's there, hello Heather. Hello Heather, nice to see you. And Kate and Karen, who's looking after her carer, been for how many years now?
Long time.
A long time, many years. And we just send out big love to you both tonight. Because moments of repose are what we need. And I just want to kind of let us think a little bit about guilt. I often think that, I mean, when I grew up, it was sometimes a lot about guilt. Now, guilt, if it's the knowledge of things that we've done wrong, which was called the knowledge of sin. Sin is not a very big word we use these days, but because everything's gone into a kind of moral relativism. But forget that a moment. Just when I've thought about what there is no condemnation to them who are in Christ Jesus or called according to his purpose. And so what happens is often preachers will preach and create some kind of sense of, why aren't you doing this? They point the finger. And you feel the only thing you remember from that sermon is being the finger being pointed at you. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you witnessing more? Why aren't you telling them about this? Why aren't you telling them about? And I think that this has very little place for me. I think in church, and knowledge of sin is a great thing. That is that we do wrong. Well, that's why we have the confession. It's a great thing. We've sinned against you and against our fellow men in thought and word and deed, things we've done and the things we haven't done. And I think actually one of the things that this group has tried to do, whether people have faith or no faith, is to exercise some, and I think this is really important for people. When Sue talks to people in your
preparing for funerals, yeah.
You often talk about people who don't want anything to do with the.
I find it very sad, because I always come to a point in the conversation I have with them, would you. Did your mother have any faith? Do you want prayers? Do you want a hymn? And the response that I get, not just from the people that I'm speaking to, but also the funeral directors, is that the church vicars don't have a very good track record, really. And too many of them say to me, she was a goer, she did go to church, but now actually she doesn't, and she was shouted at by a priest, or this happened or that happened, and there's a bad memory somewhere where they were victimized or they were treated badly by someone in the church, and so they don't respond very well to the idea of church and religion, and yet they still want to think that their beloved has gone to heaven, and they're happy to believe in angels. So actually I can bring God in the sense of God being a God of love into that situation, but it's sad actually that so many of them have these bad experiences. But if you spend a bit of time talking to them, you realise where it comes from, and you can take it away, I think.
And I think actually that so many of us within the Christian church have had bad experiences.
Absolutely.
It's called spiritual abuse, and I think actually that Becca Legg talked a lot about that, and indeed Lynn, who she would talk a lot about that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so actually what we're trying to do is, in this, we don't want to make you feel guilty about anything. What we want you to do is, you can, rather than shouting at you, we want to encourage you to remember the things that we based this whole community on, which were two passages, one sacred and one secular, but has the overtones and the very definite sense of the spiritual behind it and the biblical behind it. And the first one was the sheep and the goats. It was about what they didn't do. When I was naked, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you visited me, and when I was hungry, you fed me.
And that is one of the reasons and whatever extrapolate
Whatever
out
it is
from
you
that.
do, if you sit and have a cup of tea with an
That is
elderly
it.
person, that's it. You are being
Jesus
Jesus
to that
in
person.
that situation.
And if you're not a Christian, you're being helpful
Yes.
in that person.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in that, in that, but what you can do as a human being, it becomes Christian. It's humanitarian. Those two things can become. And the other verse, which is from I'm quoting Shakespeare now. Those
Wordsworth.
the better part of a man or woman, man generic. The better part of a person, we can just say, those little unremembered acts of love and of kindness. And that's what we've based this on. We do not have a dogma. We don't have. We have theology, I suppose, in our own heads. But where I just want you to feel actually that this week is not a week for condemnation and feeling guilty about what you've not done.
As in, and can it be? No condemnation.
No condemnation. That's why I quoted the verse.
Absolutely.
I just quoted that verse now. The condemnation now I dread. Jesus is all, and all in him is mine. So just go this week with that thought in your head as we sing this, a little bit of a time to just sit and, do you know what? Do nothing but listen and watch the songs and see if some of these words touch you. But two are by Paul Field and myself, actually. And Paul, once again, he manages to capture in the words a hymn that I think should be sung in churches. I wanted to sing it this morning in my church. It made sense. And it goes like this. I know Chloe Hill likes this. Across the changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness through every breath. You will be there. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. If doubts and fears come closing in, we lean on you when strength may fail. And Father God, you pour your Spirit down, the clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world, the nails that held God in our place. This is a love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise. This is the promise. This is the promise of His grace.
only we would listen through the noise and chaos of our days. Lord, give us time to fix our minds on you and hear what you would say. Still you speak, if only we would listen through the wars and conflicts of our time. Lord, if each day we'd kneel and pray to you, what wisdom we could find. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen, listen and obey. Still you speak, if only we would listen through the creeds and conflicts that divide. Lord, teach us still to seek your will and let your voice speak through our lives. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Still you speak, if only we would listen, listen and obey. Still speak, if only we would listen through the years that come and go so fast. Lord, may your ways shape all our days until we see your face at last. Voice for every season, song of love for all our days. Word of life, voice for every season, song of love for all our days. See, if only we would listen, listen and obey.
And now for the trilogy at nearly 10. The third one is Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah. All of these are available on albums. You can download them or you can buy them from us directly. This one from Hymns Project. One or two, I can't remember, doesn't matter. Have a listen online. Guide me, O great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. I am weak, but you are mighty. Hold me with your powerful hand. Bread of heaven, feed me now and evermore. Feed me now and evermore. Open now the crystal fountain where the healing waters flow. Let the fire and cloudy pillar lead me on my journey through. Strong deliverer, ever be my strength and shield, ever be my strength and shield. When I tread the verge of Jordan, bid my anxious fears subside. Death of death and hell's destruction, lead me safe on Canaan's side. Songs of praises I will ever sing to thee. I will ever sing to And that was 3 at 10, really. I called it 3 at 10 because it's nearly 10. And Tom, you were nearly about. I quite like that 3 at 10.
3 at 10 or 3
We can
at
do
9.
that. Jack and Nori corner.
9:45.
It's a developing scene, this, isn't it? Sue, come and join us before we finish.
Okay, right.
And there we are. Sit all that down there, girl, and put the last couple of songs. Now we've been doing this again. I hope you lot enjoyed this.
Sorry, I'm just going to change this.
Yes,
There
you
we go.
can. So you can.
And can I just say, I think this is some kind of record.
What?
Some kind of record. He hasn't once deviated from this. That is some kind of
Can
record.
I tell you right now, before we finish now, before she puts on the thing, we've got 7. Piano Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will go strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Sing it with me. This is for Lorraine in Australia. Turn your eyes upon Jesus. Look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Lorraine Todd, that was for you. I nearly forgot that one.
So he has done everything on the list.
I've done everything on the list,
Well
and we're
done.
about to do the last
Well
two. We're going to have a week off. We're travelling up next week up north, north, post. You know, it's going to be like that, no doubt. There's going to be people talking like that.
No, I don't think
I don't think it is.
Not in
That's
Southport.
Yorkshire. Right,
Not in
so
Southport.
never mind. So we'll be coming up. We want you to fill the place and scream and shout when we come. We leave you with this thought. Remember one thing. Doesn't matter what it is, just remember it. I like that.
This one is particularly for our friend Carol Wadsworth tonight.
Yes, really.
Carol, you're in a pickle, you are not well, and you're caring for Chris, and that's a difficult combination. So we sing this for you and for all the others in difficult
And thank you,
situations.
Carol. I'm going to mention it for your generosity.
Yeah, your kindness
She sent
to
a
us.
little check to
She
this
she
week.
sent us a lovely card, actually,
Yeah,
which
so moving.
was such a blessing. So thank you for that. And for all of you who are struggling and you need a bit of peace in your lives, this is for you.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time, unless we see you up north. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely, show tenderness in all your ways. You gonna join me?
I am. That's why I'm here.
Join us then. If you know it, sing along with us. Through darkness. Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. We want you to take it easy this week. No guilt, remember?
No.
Take that with you. Go out and do what you can do and be the person you can be wherever you are in your communities up and down the country. We're going to try and do what we can do,
Indeed.
and we can do no more. So don't try and kill yourself doing it, but just bless people in simple ways. You know, that's it, isn't it?
That's it. That's it.
I think we try and complicate things often too much
Yeah.
when it's quite simple. Boil the kettle, and invite someone in. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had people last
I
night.
can do that.
We had people
Yeah.
last night, and it was lovely just having them, talking to them, chatting, being a blessing to each other. Here we go. Be righteous. Be righteous. Speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness. See everyone open through heaven's eyes. God holds you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love. God holds you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known, my love. And so, as always, we send you out with a blessing. Whether you believe it or not, it's a nice, as we used to say, it's a comfort. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine upon you and give you His peace. We're thankful to Rachel also for coming in.
Yes,
and,
indeed.
being
For
part of the
relieving
family
me.
here.
Yes.
Part of the family on the Jonathan Veira JV live from the Steinway room sessions.
Take this blessing with you and be.
And the guy we want played the guitar and the mandolin on this. Matt Weeks. He played on nearly all my records.
Okay.
That's why it's great to have him.
Okay.
Lovely, lovely man. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. So another 2 hours has gone swiftly.
Flown by.
Flown by. I'm exhausted. I've sung too many songs tonight.
No, not too many. You've sung the right number.
I'm looking forward to a guest. I can have a rest.
No, you don't need a rest.
That's what, work that kidney. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace, and give you His peace. Well, I think they say in the business it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
That's the line. Oh, we're so old, aren't we?
Thank you for joining us, everyone. It's been lovely having you in this enormous room with us.
Enormous room. It's
And
so big.
we're
so
delighted
big.
for every single one of you that watch this. So thank you
God bless
very
you.
much.
Have a good
God
week.
bless. Bye.
Bye now.